Okay, so welcome to the budgeting course. And if you are new to budgeting, I promise you this is going to change your life. And if you've been doing this, but you just still want that motivation and a bit of insight and guidance, then this is also going to create a strong foundation for your future. I was actually talking to my husband yesterday and I was having a realization that, the things that I talk about are actually the things that changed my life. It's not just a business to me, it's not just a brand. It's actually something I 100% believe in. So, personal finance is what changed my life. So, having an awareness and an understanding, laying that foundation for my future, that financial wellness future, has really changed my life. So, having that but also personal development. So, also like getting an understanding of how to find what I love, how to manage my mind and think positive thoughts, and also faith. So, these three things. So, having faith, being in a relationship with God, and trusting the process, and taking that leap of faith whenever I am dreaming of something or wanting something or going through something and having that moment. I just want to wipe the camera. Yeah, it looked a little. So, having that moment of trust and belief that everything is going to work out, but also knowing what to do when it comes to managing my money. Because the truth is, if you cannot manage 5,000 Rand, you won't be able to manage 50,000 Rand, because it's just about the principle of knowing what to do with your money. It's not about how much you make, it's how you handle how much you make. So understanding how to manage a small amount of money will lay down that foundation for you when you start making more. And then also that personal development. So having a growth mindset, knowing how to dream big and knowing how to take action with what you dream of, and understanding that some people's actions and insecurities is not a definition of you. So it's so important to lay a foundation for wherever you are going or whatever you dream of. And if you're wanting to be debt free, if you're wanting to save money and invest and travel and not live paycheck to paycheck, I promise you the best thing is to learn how to budget, because you won't even be able to invest if you don't know how to budget. And if you do invest, then when you get that money, you're just going to blow it up because you don't know how to manage money. So managing money is very important. It is an introduction of your financial journey. And this is what the course is going to be about. It's going to be just teaching you the basics and an introduction and a foundation of what you're going to use for the rest of your life, no matter how much you have. Okay, so welcome to this course called The Power of a Budget. So, how did it change my life and how did I start? So, it started off by just someone who was just tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of working hard for a whole month and then having a look at my income when I get paid, and there's too much going on. I don't know where to start, what to do next. Like, how can I save money? I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that I'm working, there's money going in and there's money going out. I also was just wanting to get a few things for myself, and I realized I cannot afford it. And what's the point of working then if I cannot afford anything? So I was just fed up. I was sick and tired of living like that, and I wanted a solution. So I wanted a solution for my problem. And after doing so much research, I then realized that the only solution is to know how to budget. Now, besides knowing how to, book someone, getting a financial advisor and getting someone who's going to, handle things for you, what can you do though? What if anything had to happen to that person and they can't help you anymore? What if they quit their job or whatever it is, they no longer are available to help you? What are you going to do? So you have to know how to handle your personal finance. It's called personal finance for a reason. It's so you can personally be able to handle it, manage it, and know what to do if there's a situation. Super important to have that understanding of how to manage your finances. So I didn't know how to manage my finances and I wanted to learn. So I went through a whole thing of wanting to find out, okay, what can I do in order to learn how to budget and also enjoy it? Because when I thought of budgeting, it felt like something that is just restricting and that is painful and just, intimidating basically. And I fell in love with the cash envelope method. I was like, okay, let's take it back to the old school way of doing things where you have a pen, a journal, or a paper, but I wanted to track every month. So I got a journal, I got a pen, and then I got envelopes, like actual just envelopes, where I can withdraw money and have an envelope for groceries, an envelope for eating out, like entertainment, snacks, fun things, an envelope for my husband smokes, so envelope for him, so his cigarette money is in there. If you finish your cigarette money before the month ends, that's it. Everything else has gone to savings, and also the automatic bills have deducted the rent and stuff. But everything else, I don't want to swipe my card. I want to use the envelope, the cash. So I started off like that, and then I learned about the zero-based budget. So the zero-based budget is basically giving your money a purpose. Every single amount of money in your account has to have a goal, a purpose. So that's when I started the zero-based budget, mixed it with the cash stuffing method, and magic just happened. Things started to change for me, and I then wanted to buy a planner, like an actual budget planner. So I went on Etsy, I went on Google, and I was looking for a planner that I can use for my budget, and nothing was nothing. I didn't like any of them. Like, I really didn't find anything. I think now there's a lot more available, but I couldn't find anything, and this was back in 2019. So then I started like creating my own planner, like sheets, like just a worksheet of paper, which is also attached to this course. So worksheets, but these worksheets are nice, of course. But it was just, I started just creating worksheets on Canva. So I'd go on Canva and I would just like create a worksheet which looked very basic, but I just needed something to be designed the way I am thinking in my head. This is how I want to track my finances. I want to have needs, wants, debts, savings. Like, I want to have those kind of sections, income, and all of that. But I couldn't find it, so I started creating it myself on Canva. It was looking very basic, but it was just a sheet of paper that I printed every time it was payday. Then I wanted to learn how to actually create a journal so I can stop printing all these sheets and having them lie around. I bought a flip file to put all of them in, but it still looked tacky. And I created my first budget planner on Adobe. So I had to learn Adobe Suite, Adobe InDesign, Photoshop for the cover. I created it and I printed it with an A4 size, so it was like really big. And then I realized, okay, this is too big and it's not thick, so it's a bit thin, so it makes like flimsy. So I made it into an A5 size, so a smaller size, and I just enjoyed it. I fell in love, and I recorded myself using that once, and people liked the video, and it was fine. And then I was wanting to save money. So there is a verse in the book of Proverbs, I think Proverbs 6, where it says, "Be like an ant who gathers when it is time of plenty, and when winter comes, it has enough gathered. It has enough food gathered." So I thought to myself, okay, I need to start saving as much as I don't have enough money to save, because at that time I thought to save, you need to be saving like thousands and thousands a month. So I looked at my life like I don't have money to save. So I was like, you know what, let me just start with just 10 Rand. Let me just put away 10 Rand and see what happens? So I started to save 10 Rand, 10 Rand, 10 Rands. But now I had a lot of 10 Rands and I didn't know where to put it and I didn't know how to track it. So then I created like a envelope, like a design. Again, I used Canva. I created an envelope design and I did lines. So every time I fill up that envelope or I color in all of those lines, I would have 200 Rand saved in each envelope. So then that video of me putting money in my 10 Rand envelopes and posting it on TikTok. So I created the video for TikTok so that I can use that video for Instagram, because TikTok has that thing where you can speak through text, because I don't like my voice. Well, now I'm okay with it, but I didn't like my voice back then. So I used to use the option where you can get someone to talk over your video. So I actually did create a video today similar to what I mean. So I'm going to make you listen a little bit.
Payday. So before we start swiping our cards, my husband and I first populate our fixed.
So it's something that kind of effects on TikTok. I created that video so that I can post it as an Instagram reel, because that's what I used to do, because I wasn't sure how to edit videos properly. So TikTok was just easier for me, but I wouldn't post on TikTok because I thought TikTok was just for like dancing and all of these things, and I didn't want to post boring content there. So I would like create something and then delete it. And I forgot to delete this video. So the video was how I'm saving 10 Rands and cash stuffing and whatever. Next minute, that video on TikTok went viral. It went like viral. Viral for me at the time was like over 100,000 views. So I was so shocked that I had reached that much views. The comments, people asking for the envelope. So now Shopify at the time didn't allow me to. No, I had Etsy. Etsy at the time didn't allow me to list my stuff for free. So I had to list it for 10 Rand. I was like, okay, it's a 10 Rand envelope, I'll list it for 10 Rand. And people were like, where can I get it? And I was like, here's my Etsy link on bio, whatever. I sold so many envelopes. I made so much 10 Rand, so much money on Etsy. And my husband was like, Norma, you did it. You've cracked the code. Like I've always been someone who loved business from a very young age. Like my mom would tell you, I used to sell things. But I actually created something from scratch that I didn't even think that anyone would want it, especially in South Africa. People sometimes act like they don't want something when actually they do. So I was shocked when I realized that people actually wanted this. And I was able to recreate it, but also I didn't need to ship anything out. It was just you download your envelope, you cut it, and you start using it. Yeah, so I created that envelope and I started creating more envelopes. And then another video of mine went viral where I was using my budget planner. It was a blue budget planner. I still have it. Budgeting, how I budget every month. And people were like, where can we get that planner? We want that planner. I want to use that planner. Please help me how to budget. Like it became a thing. So then I started printing planners, and I printed 20 planners and they sold out. So then that's when my husband was like, okay, you've got a lot of people following you now and you need to think like a business owner now. And I was like, oh my God, this is so scary. I don't like disappointing people. Now I have to tell them that, hey, we've sold out and we're going to start, getting more stock and whatever. And then, we printed 100 planners and they sold out. And that's where Norma's Diary started properly in 2021. So I started my budgeting journey in 2019 and I started saving properly in 2021 because of a Bible verse that made me feel like I'm not thinking for the future, basically. I'm just thinking for the now. And then that took off, and now I am the founder of Norma's Diary, and I help a lot of people manage their finances. So the reason why I'm creating this course, it's because I no longer have time for one-on-ones. Right now, I need to try and schedule my last one-on-one like video call, but I no longer have time for one-on-one. So I'm creating this course so that it could help you. You'll be able to go back to it and watch it over and over again up until you have found your groove and you feel comfortable. And if you fall off the wagon again, you can always come back to it and it will help you. So, yes, welcome. And also, if you are interested in starting your own business, that's another course that I'm going to launch, hopefully, end of August. And it's for people who would like to know how to start a business, how to sell a product, how to build a business. But for now, let's get into how to budget, because if you cannot manage your finances, even if you start a business and start making more money, you still will be struggling. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. And hopefully you got a pen and paper or you've downloaded the worksheets that are attached with the course.